Hello, thank you so much for joining me for your May 2018 Chiron Taurus reading for Twin Flames. The reason why I chose Chiron to focus on and the Twin Flames, first of all, I got a interesting message from the universe to do it, and I'm being obedient and trusting that this message is for you. And also, I have an understanding, and I've seen that Chiron has a lot to do with why we're attracted to our twin flames and what we're here to heal. Wherever your Chiron is placed is really an opportunity for you to learn how to love unconditionally. And so this spread is going to focus on the masculine and feminine poles and their integration, and also the mundane issues that you may be experiencing in your relationships. Not everyone is in relationship, but all of us are going through a deep transformation and learning how to love. So right now I'm pulling a card from the angel deck. For Taurus. Okay. Reconciliation, harmonious family relationships. The angel is Angel 35, Shavat Kaya. And I'm just going to hone in on the energy of this angel while I shuffle the cards and get started pulling your cards for your reading. Chiron. Thank you. Chiron in his second house. Twin flame. So, according to this angel I pulled, either you're going to be doing some reconciliation, or you're in the middle of reconciliation, or you're helping someone, you're playing mediating. So we'll see when we look at this reading. Call on the angels, your angels, to help guide. And I'm going to take this card and put it here. The first card I pulled is achievement and good fortune. The next card that came out is moderation and self-control. We'll move this primitive goddess over here. Achievement and good fortune. Moderation and self-control. Does that ring a bell for you guys? Lost love, moderation and self-control, and then one more. If you looked at Aries reading, I'm going to do this reading a little bit different. At the end, I did the mundane reading, but I'm going to start off with it because I feel like it's a good transition to start off with, like, the issues that are going on in your physical relationship, and then talk about how you could integrate those energies and how those energies are being played out within yourself in order to be healed. This card should be over here. Okay. The cards I'm shuffling with right now are the Higher Love Soul Link Oracle deck. These cards are specifically for soulmate relationships. One more. Legal matters and contracts. Okay. So now I'm going to pull your cards for your feminine poles, or the divine feminine. These are the cards I use for integration. This is for feminine energy. So this is for Chiron, that's any aspect with Venus. As Taurus is ruled by Venus in the second house. Cut those. I'm just pulling the cards now, and I'm going to read them later after I do the Monday. But I like to pull the cards on camera if I can, unless something happens with the video, and then you'll see the cards already pulled. But let me just take a look here. Let me get a quick glance at the feminine energy. This is for the masculine. And then this is for the integration. It's real interesting. Okay. Alright. So you're going to see me cover this all up with the Romance Angel deck. Right click. And now we're going to start talking about your twin flame relationship as it's playing out in the physical form, and not just inside of your energy, inside of your wounds. Let's see how this drama is playing out in your world. Chiron, second house. Chiron, Taurus. Chiron, Venus. Relationships. What is the message? What do they most need to hear right now? Thank you. I'm going to cut them. Cut this. And I'll start pulling. The first card that comes out is codependency, separation, unrequited love, reconciliation, okay, worth waiting for. It's about timing, the right timing. Pay attention to red flags. Calling in your soulmate. Romantic feelings. It looks like one relationship is ending and another one is beginning. Or a new form of the relationship after reconciliation, heart-to-heart conversation. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I didn't say this card I was talking. It was trust. Getting to know each other. And new love. Interesting. I was thinking about this card, this new love card, today when I woke up for some reason, because I was thinking about the other meanings that it could possibly have, because this card is saying a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, but it can also mean that there's love blossoming inside of you, like a new way of loving, you know, a new way of communicating your love, a refreshment of love. That's what this card means to me as well. So as I tune into your reading, let's see. Alright, so we have at the top codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Next to it is separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And then reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. If we go down the line, codependency. Worth waiting for, and trust. You know, so I feel like your reading is about a relationship that has lost its way, and it's already been going on, you know, for a minute. And you already know your issues already. It's like you already know this person and you've been dealing with this person. And you're finding that you have to separate yourself from them because of the issues you guys are facing. And this call about calling in your soulmate is about bringing you two back together again. Because we have a reconciliation, calling in your soulmate, heart-to-heart conversation. I see you like asking God, the goddess, to please bring back the person I once knew. To let us find love again. Let us love each other like we used to. Let us look at each other how we used to when we first met. You know, don't let our issues get in the way of this love, of our true love. And I'm seeing that some time apart is actually good for you, because when you spend time apart, you actually miss this person. You know, you actually like care about this person. And maybe things have gotten out of control to the point to where you need a mediator to help you. You need an actual counselor to talk between the two of you, just so that you can hear each other. And when you reconcile, your feelings are made anew. It's kind of like, it's like, man, I didn't know that I did that to you. I didn't know you felt that way about me. I'm sorry. I'm here. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to love. You guys still have love for each other, even though you've been fighting. Because underneath this romantic feelings card, it's this Knight of Swords. In the Osho Zen Tarot deck, the Knight of Swords is fighting. You guys have been fighting about resources, but I'm going to get into that after I finish with this. And the red flags seem to be your codependency, the addictions, whatever these addictions are. Maybe addiction to your feelings, addiction to wounds, and addiction to being stubborn and not listening and wanting to be right. Even when you're right, your best your best judgments can get in the way of the actual real love in the relationship. And when I say pay attention to red flags, I'm getting a message that it's not as dire as I feel like this card can come across. Like it says the signs are cautioning you. It's red flags because you don't know each other, getting to know each other. So I feel like you're going to be separated for a little while. And you're going to realize you still love each other and that you want to reconcile. But there are red flags that you need to pay attention to. But that doesn't mean that this person is any less of your soulmate. And when I do readings for people, I do find that I never advise anyone to break up or to not be together. All of us are in a state of emergency when it comes to our healing process. We all need unconditional love. My advice is always to love unconditionally. That doesn't mean that you stay in a situation. That doesn't mean you don't need to separate sometimes. Time apart from your partner is healthy if that's what you need to do. And underneath the separation card is the Two of Air. The decision that needs to be made. And apparently the decision is whether or not you want to separate or not. Now I'm going to pull 3 clarification cards for these top cards, and then I'm going to withdraw them and get into the other part of the reading. So we have the Hierophant reversed, the Ace of Swords reversed, and then the Knight of Cups. Alright. So with these 3 cards, somebody feels controlled. and somebody's voice is louder than the others. I feel like there's one person handles things by being sweet and listening and being romantic, and the other person, and maybe like the vine in the relationship is rudeness, because the Ace of Swords is like inappropriate behavior, like using your mouth and your mind to be mentally abusive and controlling, which the Hierophant is trying to break free. When it's reversed, it's like, I don't want this commitment on me. Like, I don't want this type of relationship. I want to be free. And maybe the other person is like, well, I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to stay. I love you. And maybe that's where the codependency comes in. Let me pull more cards for clarity. Yes, Two of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and then the Page of Swords reversed. So yes, there's definitely like, it's like we're soulmates, but I don't want to be controlled by you. It's like, I love you, and I don't want to be, but I don't want to be controlled by you. I don't want to be controlled by our love, or I being controlled by our love. So there's a need to break free. There's a need to break free for more individuality. The swords, especially the Queen of Swords, is all about, I love this card. She's such a diva. This queen right here. The Queen of Swords is about, being right, wanting to be right above all else, and thinking that you're right, and not listening to your partner and what they're trying to tell you. And even if you are right, you still have to keep in mind that there are two people in this relationship. It's not just about you. And I mean, also this could be someone doing this to you. It goes both ways. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. I'm just reading the cards like I'm giving you a reading. you know, um, and I can see the Chiron in the second house being controlling, because Chiron, the wound of Taurus, is self-esteem, not feeling esteemed, not feeling heard, not feeling listened to, not feeling like your worth is being considered, or you never feel like you give your best and the other people don't give their best. So that can cause, like, and this is what I see with this Knight of Cups. It's like I give my best love and it gets thrown out when I get talked to any old kind of way, when I get treated badly. It's like it doesn't even matter the love that we have. Now I want to throw it away, because the Page of Swords is about, communicating in a really immature way. Not knowing how to communicate how you're feeling. So we have like three swords here. And it's all about communicating and not being able to communicate in a way that comes across as loving to your partner. So now we're going to talk about the feminine and masculine poles and how this could possibly relate. And when I see the legal matters and contract card, like, it keeps on talking to me. The reconciliation card underneath the legal matters and contracts. Maybe you guys we're headed for a legal separation, divorce, a separation of actual material things. And you get with a mediator and you talk it through, and you realize that the love you share with one another is more important than you guys being right now. Now that's for people who are in actual twin flame relationship. That is so earth sign stuff. Possessions, legality, worth. What am I worth? What are you worth? How are we going to separate these things? And then you realize that things aren't more important than the love you share. I can see it now. It's like in my mind, I can see it like a movie playing out. You're in the boardroom. You got your stern face on. You're ready to fight. You already are lawyered up, you know, and you put on your best front that you're ready to battle it out. And then you look at each other in the eyes from across the table, and you ask your lawyers to leave, and then you have a heart-to-heart. Have a heart-to-heart. Talk it out. Apparently it's not over yet between you. And whatever your issues aren't so bad that you can't, like, maybe go to some type of counseling to work them out. So for the feminine poles, we have achievement and good fortune. And the card that comes out is Ace of Water, which is the Ace of Cups. And it's about self-love, nourishment, like completely being enmeshed with your body, mind, and soul. Like, for this to be an emotional card, I'm connecting to the earth here. I'm connecting to Mother Nature, Mother Nurturing, Mother Nourishment. You know, allowing your emotions to be healed. This card is about healing. It's about emotional wounds being healed by you allowing them to flow. Maybe that be through crying. Maybe you might get on a new regimen as you take care of yourself. Because the aces are about new starts, new beginnings. Number one, leading the charge, like taking responsibility. You know, pulling up on yourself and being like, you know what, it's time to put me first. It's time to stop ignoring my feelings. And in the masculine poles, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There seems to be some resistance in the physical world. This is another ace. It's the Ace of Pentacles, but it's reversed. So there's some resistance to a new start in the physical world. Like, something is being offered and taken away. Or something that you thought was yours really isn't yours anymore. Or there's like a opportunity that's being missed. And in the middle, we have existence at the integration point. So let me see, because my mind still hasn't put those two together yet. So let me take a look. The first thing that came to mind, that one thing hasn't caught up with the other. This part of you is more developed. This feminine pole of yours is more developed than the masculine pole. The masculine energy is not trusting that if you focus on yourself, that it's going to get what it wants, or that everything's going to be okay. You know, masculine energy is about moving forward with, like, projects, putting the energy out into manifestation, you know. Okay, so we have this person that is sitting on a lotus leaf and being with the galaxy and connecting through meditation and allowance. In order to integrate these two energies, in order to become a manifester, you have to allow your healing energy to be to the point to where it trickles down to your masculine energy, so that your masculine energy can feel nourished enough to manifest what it wants. Because when I see this card flowing with full of, like, lush energy, and this card reversed, I feel like there's a block of a blockage, a wound here of disbelief. And this card here, this integration card, is all about belief in yourself for your achievement and good fortune. Like, this is what you want. So basically, to me, this card is saying hold space. Hold space. Keep doing this. And you'll get the answer to your prayers. You'll receive what you want. Hold space. Keep being good to yourself. But don't force it just because it's not happened yet. Or just because, maybe the opportunity being offered to you is not the one you want. You'll get there. You'll get there. Keep on working on your healing. And I'm going to read the existence card from the Osho deck. I need something to hold it up so that you can see it while I read. Existence. This naked figure sits on the lotus leaf of perfection, gazing at the beauty of the night sky. She knows that home is not a physical place in the outside world, but an inner quality of relaxation and acceptance. The stars, the rocks, the trees, the flowers, fish, and birds are all our brothers and sisters in this dance of life. We human beings tend to forget this as we pursue our own private agendas and believe we must fight to get what we need, but ultimately, our sense of separateness is just an illusion, manufactured by the narrow preoccupations of the mind. Now is the time to look at whether you are allowing yourself to receive the extraordinary gift of feeling at home wherever you are. If you are, be sure to take time to savor it so it can deepen and remain with you. If, on the other hand, you've been feeling like the world is out to get you, it's time to take a break. Go outside tonight and look at the stars. So I turned this upright, and I'm just going to leave it like that because I feel like it's a belief thing. It's a belief in yourself thing. It takes a lot of wisdom and knowledge and understanding to get to the point to where you're able to take care of yourself, to keep your self-esteem high, and to learn that self-care is really important. And I feel like this Ace of Pentacles is the next step that comes with that if you keep it up. It's like inevitable. You'll start to manifest the things that will bring you good fortune in your outside world, but it's an inside job first. It's a being thing first. And this is a natural progression and transition. First you take care of your insides and you mother yourself, you nurture yourself, and then you relax into that. There's no forcing. You can't force things to manifest and come to you whenever, just because you want it. And actually straining yourself will push things away. Being thirsty, that's what people say. Because I was trying to think of a better word than that, but I guess I have a limited vocabulary. Yeah, being thirsty is going to halt your manifestation. So there just may be a little bit of fighting inside of you. And when just keep on doing the meditation and doing your yoga and make your list for what you want. Look at it every day during your meditation. Allow it to exist and allow the ideas to pop into your mind. Allow your thoughts to be expanded by looking at the night sky. instead of thinking about what you don't have, what you can't do, what's not happening, do you have a choice of how you handle things in order to achieve success? And true success is having what you want and getting it in peace. Peace, 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 peace. All right, so the next line is moderation and self-control. And in the feminine pole, we have the two of air. And in the normal arcana deck, the traditional arcana deck, that's the two of swords. And it's a woman with her blindfolded and the swords crossing her on the left and on the right. So we see on her left, on her, sorry, on her right side, you have the Ace of Water. On her left side, we have the Hangman. So I feel like she's being asked to make a choice. Take care of herself. Be your, it's since the energy of the Ace of Waters on the right side, this is something that I feel like you consciously have to think about doing for yourself. You consciously are aware of your regimen and that you need to make sure that you feel good every day. But in your subconscious, you are neglecting a part of yourself that really wants to go into another realm of existence. The Vision Quest card is a major arcana card, which is the Hangman. And the Hangman is about waiting. And it's about many things. It's about kind of the same idea as this major arcana card. Waiting and being, you know, waiting and also nurturing yourself, nurturing your true essence, becoming more of yourself while you wait. And since this card is under the lost love card, in relationship with the masculine energy, maybe you have lost sight of who you really are in the universe and what your mission really is, given the fact that maybe you've been fighting yourself and fighting these energies, because it looks like there's, in the masculine energy, there's something that you desperately have been trying to go after and achieve within your own being. There's energy blockages here that you've been trying to work out mentally and by force and by carrying a burden and a heavy load and not really relying on spirit. And so the masculine and feminine poles here are both out of whack. And, it's time to get back to the beginning, the Ace of Water. It's time to really nourish and love up on yourself. The integration card between the two of air and then the Ten of Wands here, this is in the masculine energy. The masculine energy has been doing a lot of work, and that makes sense in our society. The feminine energy is in the shadows, has been in the shadows for a long time, and I'm not just talking about the movement of Me Too or a feminine uh, uh, will to do the same thing men do. To me, that's not femininity. Femininity is culture. Femininity is honing of essence and putting that essence into life that nourishes yourself and the community around you. And when the masculine energy has to first of all, it's ignored the feminine aspect of life for a really long time. And the feminine energy has been asked to take on more of a role of masculine energy, in which in the masculine energy takes that receptive, beautiful, honed essence energy, and it's able to go out, go forth, you know, and bring back the goods, you know, the good fortune and achievement. And without the feminine energy, it can't really continue its work. It can't. Nobody can go on with no fuel, which is why every man, successful man, most successful men you see, they have women around them. They have a wife, even if they're unfaithful, even if they, you know, you can't really be successful without feminine energy. And if that feminine energy is stuck in her head and doesn't know what to do and is confused and isn't being herself, then the masculine energy is being called to really foot a lot of the energy of the burden. And I feel like the guilt comes in because there needs to be a balance of carrying the load. Like, if people don't know inside of themselves the role that the feminine and masculine energy play. You know, so if you, and to me, the Ten of Swords is about a completion of energy. I feel like the masculine energy is starting to become more aware inside of this reading that, okay, I need to reach out to spirit. I'm about to reach out to spirit. If my feminine energy doesn't understand how valuable she is, if I'm not making it feel valuable, if I'm only putting a value on things depending on what I have or what is given to me or what resources are available to me, if, you know, then I'm going to have to push harder to work and also connect with spirit. I'm going to have to work harder to connect with spirit, which will actually help the feminine energy see herself, you know. And it looks like in the moderation and self-control, because this is the Eight of Swords, this guilt card. My phone. Okay. Yeah, so this is the guilt card here. And you're holding on to a lot of issues, you know, and maybe old ways of thinking that you can't open up and ask for help and connect and share your feelings and talk it out. She's in her head and he's going at it alone. And he's reaching a completion of spirituality, and she is confused whether or not her spirituality is valuable or not, you know. And so I'm going to read the guilt card, the Eight of Clouds. That's what it is in the Osho Zen Tarot deck. Guilt. Alright. Guilt is one of the most destructive emotions in which we can get caught. If we have wronged another or gone against our own truth, then of course we will feel bad, but to let ourselves be overwhelmed with guilt is to invite a migraine. We end up surrounded by nagging clouds of self-doubt and feelings of worthlessness to the point where we cannot see any of the beauty and joy that life is trying to offer us. We all long to be better people, more loving, more aware, more true to ourselves. But then we punish ourselves for our failures by feeling guilty. We can get locked into a cycle of despair and hopelessness that robs us of all clarity about ourselves and the situations we encounter. You are absolutely okay as you are. It is absolutely natural to go astray from time to time. Just learn from it, move on, and use a lesson, not to make the same mistake again. So I feel like there's a learning curve going on. How do we work masculine and feminine energy inside of me? Like, how do I work together? Like this, it's like almost like this is new to me, taking care of myself and consistently, building up my self-esteem. And then it's like, now what? You know, and then maybe you start feeling guilty for feeling good and being happy. And maybe your negative, I'm sorry, your masculine energy is your critical voice. That tells you like, no, 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 this is not the way of life. You can't possibly live free from guilt. You can't possibly like live a life of joy and love and happiness and good fortune. What are you thinking? We have to work. You have to work. You maybe you used to being a worker bee, and your masculine energy is used to, you know, trudging along by and an independence, an independent of love, care, and nurturing. So it might take a while, some time for the masculine energy to get it. To like how can I describe it? I go through the same thing. I'm used to being critical of myself, but I'm learning critical is not love. Critical is not needed. Critical cuts down, and cutting down is counterintuitive to all the hard work I do to build myself up. And then when I love myself, the achievement starts to flow. The success starts to flow. Everything around you, inside of you, everything in existence wants to be loved. Everything loves to be loved. Except for that part of you that is maybe attached and has invested relationship with the wound of being attacked and being violent, or just not being enveloped in love and support and kindness. And that part of you, maybe it feels like it has to work for love. And there's another part of you that's learning that love is um, given freely just because you exist. Love is always here for you. Your lovingness is what you got. Everybody wants to feel good. And feeling good is not a crime. Feeling good is a birthright. But that's something that a lot of us have not been taught. So sometimes when you feel good and you keep yourself healthy, the guilt can start to come in. Um, it happened to me even stronger when I first started on my healing process, when I went no contact from my narcissistic mother. And anybody that's had narcissistic relationships in their life, and you want to go off and do your own thing, and doing your own thing means actually like taking care of yourself. Your narcissistic guardian, parent, the archetype in general will make you feel guilty, because it'll make you feel like you should be focusing on me, or you're trying to lead me. You're going away, like, and it finds a way to make you feel like the worst person in the world for thinking for yourself. You know, and maybe the feminine energy needs to take a pause for the cause to help the masculine energy understand this. Because the tens are about completion. And maybe the manifestation has halted so that you can get this spiritual lesson. And I'm going to move on to lost love. We were looking at the vision quest, which is the hangman. And so the feminine energy would like to go on a vision quest and really enter into another realm of rebirth and existence. And she would like to spend time there, and she would like to have her dreams there. But it seems like the masculine energy is not in the same space. I mean, you know, he still lives in like a harsh world. Your masculine energy may be criticizing you for taking that leap, for having that thought that, you know what, like maybe I can live in like a world where there's peace and love and understanding, and you know, maybe and you know, because it's under the category of lost love, you know, I'm getting the sense that one person, one part of you is ready to transform, and the other part of you is maybe telling you, you know, what is this voodoo shit you're on? Almost like someone who's Christian, religious, dogmatic. Because I see this person like on a crusade. They know their rights. They know their it's like they've been. It's like, I've been charged by God to go on this mission to spread the message, to spread the gospel. And this individual connects with spirit and nature within their being and within their essence. And the message is within their being. And their being spreads out to everything around them and touches everything around them. And they end up in a new world, and it spreads love and it spreads peace. It's like a different way of being. I don't know the right word to say about that. You know, I grew up some parts of my life in a Christian church, and it was a kind of cultish type thing, and it didn't really allow for many differences in ways of living, you know. And some people will actually leave their wives and their husbands because of difference of opinions and the religion. Some people was not buying that everybody's going to hell that doesn't go to this church-ish, you know. And I just feel like it's that type of thing going on. It's a difference of philosophies. And I can kind of relate to that when it comes to people that I'm around a lot of times. With me being so heavily and like doused in spirit, my perception, my perspective is way different than people who believe that they have to keep up the status quo. That's what it is. It's like one part of you is moving on into a new way of being, And the other part, the masculine energy within you, is still trying to hold on to the status quo and may be a critical voice inside of you. And if you're going through a relationship, you know, this could be playing out in the physical world where you're not getting along because, you know, one person is burning sage and the other person, and like one person is getting healthy, eating right, burning their sage, clearing out their negative energy, meditating, and the other person is still working and working hard to create like a life. Um, and maybe people's dreams are changing. It looks like people's dreams and ideals are changing. One person's dreams and ideals are changing, and the other person is has not gotten there yet. And so I'm going to read the Beyond Illusion card for you. Somebody's values are changing, and that is definitely Chiron, second house. 2010, 20. Judgment. That's the major arcana card. It's beautiful. The butterfly in this card represents the outer, that which is constantly moving and that which is not real, but an illusion. Behind the butterfly is the grace of the face of consciousness, looking inward to that which is eternal. The space between the two eyes have opened, revealing the lotus of spiritual unfoldment and the rising sun of awareness. Through the rising of the inner sun, meditation is born. The card reminds us not to look outside for what is real, but to look within. When we focus on externals, we too often get caught up in judgments. This is good. This is bad. I want this. I don't want that. These judgments keep us trapped in our delusions, our sleepiness, our old habits and patterns. Drop your opinionated mind and move inside. There you can relax into your own deepest truth, where the difference between dreams and reality is already known. And I'm going to read more Beyond Illusion. This is the only distinction between the dream and the real. Reality allows you to doubt, and the dream does not allow you to doubt. To me, the capacity to doubt is one of the greatest blessings to humanity. The religions have been enemies because they have been cutting the very roots of doubt. And there is a reason why they have been doing that. Because they want people to believe in a certain illusions that they have been preaching. Why have people like Gautama Buddha been so insistent that the whole existence, except your witnessing self, except your awareness, is just ephemeral, made of the same stuff as dreams are made of? Let me read that again. Why have the people like Gautama Buddha been so insistent that the whole existence, except your witnessing self, except your awareness, is just ephemeral, made of the same stuff as dreams are made of? They are not saying that these trees are not there. They are not saying that these pillars are not there. Don't misunderstand because of the word illusion. It has been translated as illusion, but illusion is not the right word. Illusion does not exist. Reality exists. Maya is just in between. It almost exists. As far as day-to-day activities are concerned, it can be taken as reality. Only in the ultimate sense. From the peak of your illumination, it becomes unreal, illusory. Illusory. So yes, wow, it's exactly what I was just saying. It's like the feminine is doubting itself, and the path that it started on, of achievement and good fortune, which is self-love, you know. And because the masculine energy is um, is not used to this new way of existing. And this card is saying that, you know, this is beyond illusion. This is beyond doubt. And but it's also okay to have your doubts, because within you having your doubts, you can have heart-to-heart conversations, like the first cards were saying, and come to a better understanding. Like maybe you do need to do more research, find some more understanding, but you're definitely about to go through a, a ending of your way of being. And there's no need to feel guilty. There's no need to feel guilty about it, about changing your whole life, your way of existing. It's okay for you to be like, you know what, I've been thinking wrong, I've been doing it wrong, and it's okay to change. And to have a new attitude, a new approach, so that you can have achievement and good fortune. And it's interesting that these cards are the same. The legal matters and contracts, Queen of Pentacles and Mother of Earth are the same. So, and then in the middle is fighting. It's like, just because it just seems like you're fighting because it's like you want the same things, but you're going about it in a different way. You have the same wounds, and maybe your wound is, it looks like, because the Queen of Pentacles reversed, because the Queen of Pentacles is like, she's Mother Earth, like this card says, herself. Like she's able to work and take care of the children. She's a good wife. She's able to commit. She might have her own businesses. But right now, you know, because of these changes you're experiencing, is maybe, I feel like, distorting your perception, and you're pointing the finger at each other. So let's look at, I think that is so interesting. It's like, well, I'm a good wife. No, I'm a good wife. Because it might be a same-sex relationship, or maybe the masculine energy um, has the same qualities. You guys have like the same qualities or something. The same womb, the same qualities. Let me see. The Knight of Clouds is the card. It's like you guys are fighting for the same cause, but like you think you want different things, but you want the same things. But you have to come to a understanding, like of that. You know what? This is silly. You know, like we are about to lose it all because we both want to be right. Interesting. Where are you? Night. Oh. Okay, the figure in this card is completely covered in armor. Only his glare of rage is visible. And the whites of the knuckles on his clenched fist. If you look closely at the armor, you can see it's covered with buttons, ready to detonate if anybody so much as brushes up against him. In the background, we see the shadowy movie that plays in this man's mind, two figures fighting for a castle. An explosive temper or a smoldering rage often mask a deep feeling of pain. When we think that if we frighten people away, we can avoid being hurt even more. In fact, just the opposite is the case. By covering our wounds with armor, we are preventing them from being healed. By lashing out at others, we keep ourselves from getting the love and nourishment we need. If this description seems to fit you, it's time to stop fighting. There is so much love available to you if you just let it in. Start by forgiving yourself. You're worth it. One moment it is there, another moment it is gone. One moment we are here, another moment we have gone. And for this simple moment, how much fuss we make, how much violence, ambition, struggle, conflict, anger, and hatred, just for this moment. Just wait for the train in a waiting room on a station and creating so much fuss, fighting, hurting each other, trying to possess, trying to boss, trying to dominate. All that politics, and the train comes and you are gone forever. And what was going on through my mind while I was reading that is that you guys both don't feel loved and taken care of by the other. The masculine energy doesn't feel loved, taken care of by you. And the feminine energy doesn't feel loved and taken care of by you and your way of doing things. And so that's why those cards at the beginning were asking you to process the possibility of having a heart-to-heart conversation about your issues in your relationship. The Queen of Pentacles reverse can be super controlling. And since, I controlling of resources and maybe hoarding resources and maybe being irresponsible, maybe being selfish. Like, I feel like you guys are both being selfish and not listening to and the Queen of Pentacles reverse can be like super stubborn as well. Where are you? Earth Mother. I want to read the Mother of Earth here since it got pulled twice. Alright, caring, kinship, nurturing, generosity, physical health, fertility, connection to nature, sometimes needless self-sacrifice. It is essential that you tune into your body right now and listen to what it needs. By taking better care of yourself, you strengthen your entire network of connections and relations. Begin by being very kind to yourself. Then the circle of giving and taking will at last become complete. Then there is harmony all around, and you will feel the added strength you sorely need to fulfill your worldly responsibilities. That's the inner message. The outer message is to take care for others takes a lot of strength. Therefore, it is essential to maintain a healthy balance. Nobody is better off when you collapse just because you can't stop helping everyone in need. Your task now is to find a resting point within yourself. Even though an infinite power resides within you, a human body can go only this far. Kindly respect its natural limits. Then you will have all the strength in the world at your disposal. So the cards at the beginning were telling you that the time of separation is much needed. You guys will both feel the same way. Like you put a lot into this relationship. And maybe if you're not in partnership with anyone, you put a lot into your life. Just for you to learn that, you've been doing it wrong, or that you need to change, or for spirit to come along and change your life forever. You need to take a pause within and just be with existence for a little while. Get an Airbnb for yourself. Go to a Korean spa, sauna, and, eat your favorite food. Relax. Take some time apart. No fighting. That does not help anything. You guys love each other. You guys are super loving and nurturing people that maybe have not learned to take care of yourself completely. You're learning to take care of yourself. You're on the right track. You're doing the right things. You're in your feelings, and you have some doubts about this new way of life. And your masculine energy is throwing a tantrum about it, but it's going to be just fine. I'm going to pull an oracle card or two from the Northern Lights deck to round this all out for you. Okay. So the first card I pulled was nutritional supplements. And then South America, and then action. Like, I know you guys don't know what these cards mean and what these cards are. Well, this is a Northern Lights deck. Journey to Insight. I love everything the Dawn, Aurora Borealis, Aya, Eos. If you guys want to get me anything, look up stuff from the Dawn. I love it. Um, so this card is about the journey that a team and Musher take. And this card is about the Musher. It's card number 17. It has to do with the third chakra, your sacral chakra. Nutritional supplements. Mushers and dog teams alike are engaged in intense physical exercise. In the trail, food supplements can help ensure that their body's needs for minerals, vitamins, enzymes, and amino acids are met, especially when eating in a hurry or using frozen or dried foods. Supplements provide key ingredients that might be missing from a diet due to lack of fresh fruits and vegetables. Less nutritionally potent foods that have been processed or exposed to pesticides, or even the body's inability to properly assimilate all that it needs. Consider seeing a practitioner who can help identify what your body might be asking for at this time. You may be surprised what you can learn. So I do see that theme in your reading of self-care, of nourishment, of inner support, outer support, just needing to care for yourself. And it seems like you put a lot of care into your relationships, into working, into building your family, your home, and, awakening to your true self takes a lot of energy. And so you're going to need the nutrition in order to get through this, or you're going to feel like fighting somebody. South America. South America is about this card is about the culture that you may be attracted to, or the issues that need to be brought in awareness by the South American culture. Machu Picchu and Andes, Mayans, Aztecs, many ancient cultures from this part of the world have played a pivotal role in spiritual development and are destinations for spiritual seekers and tour groups. Meditate on a map or list of cultures that may hold a key to unlocking your current hesitation or fear and moving forward on your journey. It could be a memory of a past life or a need to visit and be in the energy of this region of the earth. South American clothing, food, languages, any of these could be a clue to guide you on your current route. Emotional awareness, sexual pleasure, and power. So, you might be hesitant to let go of your power of moving from one stage of existence to another. But, just like a baby goes through their stages of development, your consciousness never stops growing. It doesn't matter how old you get. I want you to remember that, like, whenever you get scared or you start doubting, remember that, you're just growing. You're growing up spiritually. You're going to be big, tall, and strong. One thing, that's part of life. That's a part of existence. Action is the next card. So you have three cards, two cards for your third chakra, your sacral chakra. And it's not your sacral chakra, it's your solar plexus. And the South American card was your sacral chakra. Alright, angels and your team recognize the courage it requires to follow your dreams and your heart to manifest what you have seen, felt, heard in your mind and in yourselves. We all must bear the consequences of our actions, good or bad. Follow your heart and act with faith that positive action taken now will reap positive consequences for you and all involved. And that, my friend, sums up your reading. I love you guys very, very much. And remember, we don't have any real problems. We're just evolving, you know, because we're insane. To stay the same would be a continuation of our collective insanity, and that is what we are in this for. We want to be better for ourselves and for one another. I love you guys. Peace.